Hello everyone and welcome to Kerbal Space Program 2. This has just come out in early access and although very much unfinished, it does look very pretty and I really wanted to give this a bit of a go, see where it is. As I said, it is early access and it's very early access in many ways. As we'll see, it's a lot worse off than Kerbal Space Program 1, but I think it's a good grounding for going forward. Now, one thing you're probably going to notice as we go on is I may be very jittery with the controls. That's because KSP2 does not have controller support, and I got really used to flying spaceships with my HOTAS setup, which I can't do anymore. I can't even seem to bind axes anymore. So hopefully that's something they're going to bring sooner rather than later, but we'll just have to see. But I would like to start a new campaign now. Campaign is very loose here. Again, this has been a big step back. There's no science system, there's no funding system. So essentially we've just got what would be the equivalent of the KSP1 sandbox here. No funding, no science restrictions, all parts unlocked to begin with, but still, we still get to make spaceships and kill Kerbals, so let's see how we do. Okay, and so we're just going to go Dr. Jeebus as a campaign name, just going to leave it with Kerbal Space Agency. Quite like the default little flag, but now we get to change the default colours of our agency, so I've gone for white and teal.
Your new space program, leaping forward into the cosmos. Since the dawn of Kerbal kind, we have looked to the sky and wondered what sublime mysteries lie hidden in the darkness, like jewels never beheld. These untold treasures may soon reveal themselves due to the efforts recently founded Kerbal Space Program.
Oh my! I think that might have been the only copy of the orientation film. Hold on! Slides, somewhere. Welcome to your first day running the Kerbal Space Program. This campus hosts the greatest ever gathering of astronomers, astronauts, and engineers. After years of focused effort, this collection of geniuses has created several very impressive buildings. We believe we have all the necessary pieces to take our first steps off the ground. The best way to advance our technologies further is to get up there and learn by doing. All we need now is somebody to show us how to put all these parts together. Well, we also need somebody to help us out with the flying. We need a lot of help, actually. That's why you're here. My name is Paige, by the way. If you need any hints, feel free to visit me over at the training center. Everything in there is well padded, so it's a great place to get up and running. Welcome aboard!
So here we are at KSP. We have lots of things going on. I do have this on kind of medium graphic settings because I'm still on my old PC. New one should get sorted soon, but that has been a bit of a saga, so we'll just see how we do here. There is a training center for helping you people get off the ground, but I think we're doing pretty okay. From what I've seen of other videos, this mostly seems to be the same general idea, so I'm just going to try jumping straight in. And very nicely here, one thing I really like as a new addition is the trip planner. So this kind of takes the place of those little charts that you could get previously for KSP1. Here you can say where you want to start, where you want to go, if you want a one-way trip or a round trip, and it calculates the total delta V requirements. Now, really for the first launch, I just want to get up into Kerbin orbit and then down again, so we're looking at just over 3,400 delta V. So let's try and put something pretty basic together for our first one. Let's just go for a nice little tin can launcher. Quite interestingly, here we do have different fuel types, so whereas before we just had liquid fuel and oxidizer, and I guess xenon and monopropellant, here they do separate it into methane, hydrogen and methyl ox. So you have different fuel types for different things. Would be really interesting if we get different versions of like Methalox fuel that different advantages. That would be really quite a cool thing. Something we didn't have in KSP1. Yeah, so here we go. Just put together a very basic little rocket here. More than enough Delta V. Got 2 solid boosters, main fuel tank, little orbital section, and got some very pretty looking little launch clamps here. One very nice feature is that we can go into this kind of 2-dimensional mode, or pseudo 2-dimensional mode, so that we can line things up, plot things really nicely, check 3-dimensionality there, and then we can go back to see what the full version is. We've got more than enough thrust to weight here, probably too much thrust to weight, we'll just see what happens. Let's go on, let's give Jebediah the first flight. Yay, so here we are, ready for our very first launch. Let's go. Got a nice little countdown. And we're away. Very nice. We're away very, very, very fast. Trying to pitch over, we don't have a lot of authority here. Shut down that engine, so we're going way too high right now with just the solid boosters. But very nice, so you can... well, you can't now. Now you can. You can see that the engine plumes change as the pressure changes, which is a really nice little feature to have. Okay, we are out of fuel there, so I'm going to decouple. And then we just go about floating. You can see we've ended up with a very, very vertical entry. That's fine. So maneuver modes work pretty much the same. And we just go to full burn here. And there we go. We are in orbit. So we are coming back in. Unfortunately, one of the things that seems to have been removed is the heating effects. Re-entry heating altogether may just be no longer included. There goes my parachute. Didn't really want that to deploy. But it wouldn't be Kerbal without me making mistakes. Yep, parachute just snapped. That's non-ideal. Suppose it's time to find out if Kerbals have parachutes in this. He very much exploded. Okay, well that's the thing that happened. So, my parachute deployed before it should have, and everyone died. Okay, good to know. Should have maybe waited till we were a little bit slower before deploying. Poor old Jeb there. Okay, but other than that little hiccup at the end, that went okay. So what I'd really like to do on this first one is set foot on the moon. That's going to be my big goal for today. So let's see what we can do about that. I'm going to try and set 3 Kerbals down. A 3-seat lander. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I will be aero braking, so I don't need to pay the extra 3,400. I cut that off, aiming for about 7,000 Delta V. Let's make it safe, about 2,000 on the return stage. In that case, this should be plenty as a space stage. Another really nice thing about this one is the wings, you just get like generic varieties, but you can modify them. So I want a all-moving control surface here on the bottom, and I can just reshape this to match exactly what I want. Going to be really fun to make some planes using this later. Okay, so here we have our design for our first, hopefully, moon lander, called the Kenny. Okay, we've got Bill, Valentina, and let's put Bob in there, have the good old crew. Yeah, let's see what we can do with this one. Should have plenty of Delta V, even with me making screw-ups, so let's see how we do. Okay, nighttime, so I get to experience a nice night launch here. Otherwise, let's go. Check staging. Always check staging, especially when staging's wrong. And I just want to do an experiment. It's got all the nice effects, but I just want to see if I can still release from the launch clamps and ignite the engine at the same time, or if there is actually a spool up time limit. Oh, no, that launched fine. There we go. Absolutely beautiful flame effects coming out the back. Nicely blowing through the clouds there. Nice volumetric clouds that we flew through. Alright, we are away. Trying to do our gravity turn. Maybe doing a bit of an aggressive gravity turn, we'll just see. Very nice expanding. Tell that it's even got the exhaust gas plume out the back, that's a really nice little feature. Yeah, definitely wasn't too aggressive a gravity turn, it's actually quite a decent one. Pitching over a bit more now. Apo has just hit 70, so we're going to hit space. There we go, that stage burn out, decouple. And let's ignite the next stage. That's kind of cute. The sphere of influence is also visualized on the map now. And we've achieved orbit. As that answers one of my questions, they do have patched conics, so we can see very nice and easily when we're going to get a decent intercept. Here we go, extend our little panels out. We're on our way to the moon. So we've got quite a bit of fuel in this stage. I do find this version of the map screen a little harder to pass than the previous version. Might just be something I need to get used to. Moon is looking very pretty. Let's circularize. We have nicely come along on the day-night limit there, which is pretty interesting. Can get a nice pretty landing if nothing else. I'm going to aim to come in on this crater here, so one more maneuver node planned. May have largely overshot that. Let's give us a bit more room to play with at the other end. We're just going to miss the crater, that's fine. It's bleeding off our horizontal velocity. There we go. Still have 1000 delta V in this stage, which is too much for our purposes. I'll just ease up this stage to break us when we're a little closer to the ground, and we can separate. This does look absolutely gorgeous though, even on these medium settings. It is so pretty. Especially the textures on the planets and the moon. That's just amazing coming down. Okay, we're actually going up a little bit, so I'm going to decouple there. Extend our landing legs. Sort of have enough clearance. Probably should have put on bigger landing legs. Ooh, big explosion from the last stage. Explosions are very pretty. Not sure quite why our delta V calculation's now broken. Yay. There we go. Touchdown. Nice, we managed to make it. So yeah, delta V calculations are broken for some reason. No idea why. But we are on the moon. Alright. Okay, this isn't quite working. Gonna try kind of jumping off and then grabbing. There we go. And we are down. Here we go. Made it to the moon. Moon is as fun as ever. Absolutely beautiful scenery there. And let's go and find somewhere to plant a flag. I assume I can plant a flag. I can plant a flag. Go. Nice new animations. Perfect. One landed flag. So we can sort of use the EVA jetpack on the moon. The EVA jetpack does look nice. Sound effects are really nice on the EVA. And then board. Nice. So yeah, let's try and bring them home. Just gonna, get a bit closer, then I'm gonna decouple. There we go. Decouple's being a bit weird, but it is now done. So the space stage is away. We now just come in for a nice landing. It is also very nice that the inside of these parts are all models. You can just peek in, see your Kerbals there, see all the nicely detailed controls. Yeah, re-entries are unfortunately a lot less impressive without the heat effects. Hopefully that will be coming sooner rather than later. Yeah, as we're going through the cloud layer, deploy our parachute. Very nice, very pretty, as with everything else in this game. And the terrain is absolutely stunning. So yeah, here we go as we cross the last 100 meters to the ground. I think that was a very successful little outing. Managed to make it to the moon with 3 Kerbals and return. And here we go, just about to set down. And bop. All very nice. There we go, we can now just recover our vessel. So load new records. And importantly, got to the moon. And of course this is KSP, so there is a lot to do. Zoom out here, we've got all of our old friends in the system, all the way out to the outer lying systems, Jewel and Elo, all the way out there. And also things like Moho we can go to, Duna can take another crack at Eve, but in this mode. And every single one of these planets has been heavily redone. It's look really, really pretty, really, really good. So that's where we're going to leave it for today. All in all, I'd say that was a very fun, very good little try. Still a little bit bare bones right now, but it's definitely a good grounding to keep going. Definitely going to play around a bit more with this version of KSP. Landing on another planet sounds like quite a lot of fun. Don't know if I'm going to shift my focus all the way over to KSP2 or whether I feel like going back and doing a bit more of a KSP1 campaign for a while, maybe a heavily modded one while this gets some more features. But really excited to see where they're going to take this in the future. Let me know what you thought about this, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.